Hi, I'm KP with Coronavirus Diaries, a channel dedicated to the documentation of a world under lockdown. And please be sure to hit the subscribe button so we can keep delivering more fact-based information. As we await a possible second wave of COVID-19, the main stories these past couple weeks have been about the murder of George Floyd, the ensuing protests, the riots, and how the media has been reporting some of the events that occurred. Today I'm going to continue on this path regarding how the autopsies were reported, but first, as it's Friday, some good news. They have bumped Derek Chauvin's charge up to second-degree murder and arrested the other 3 officers who were complicit in the murder, definitely a step in the right direction. Earlier in the week, I noticed a story regarding a couple autopsies done, one by the county and then another one performed by an independent group hired by Mr. Floyd's family. I think that was smart. If I were in a similar situation, I would have done the same thing, especially since this case has the special circumstance of being linked to possible institutional corruption. The autopsies differ on some key points. Let's take a closer look at this. They start off with the results of an independent autopsy which states that George Floyd died of asphyxiation from sustained pressure, and then mentions that the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's final autopsy report also contains more info from the toxicology reports. Rather than immediately expounding on that, which is the crucial point of the article, they move on to the prosecuting attorney Ben Crump's statement that it was caused by sustained pressure and that there is no other health issue that could contribute to his death. And generally I agree with him, but I'll get to that in a minute. Beneath all that, they mention that this does not include a toxicology report or other medical information, and that will be included in the final report. So this is a preliminary report that is being written about, and the first half of the article is based on its initial findings and the attorney's statement. Then they get to the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's final report, which does include a toxicology report and other medical information. And they do list it as a homicide, but for cardiopulmonary arrest due to the restraint, coupled with health conditions and some intoxicants like meth and fentanyl. Now, do I think that without intoxicants and without underlying health conditions, George Floyd would still be with us today? No, I just think Derek Chauvin would have knelt on him longer and harder, so maybe it would have taken 12 or 13 minutes rather than 8 or 9. It doesn't matter how sober or healthy you are, without air you're eventually going to die. The point of this video isn't that. The point is how it was reported. This is similar to several other stories I've talked about on this channel. The first half of the article is focused on the preliminary report that does not include the toxicology reports or medical information, and the prosecuting attorney's remarks following its initial findings. It mentions the lack of toxicology and medical information almost as if it's an afterthought. Then it moves on to the final report that does include the toxicology report, medical information, and does still label it a homicide, but has different results due to the additional information. So it's kind of this apples to oranges comparison, and they basically have the same result, that it was a homicide due to neck compression. The differences are in the medical details and the attorney's interpretation of the independent autopsy's preliminary results, but I'm sure they are enough to cause lots of discussion and, more importantly, disagreement in the comments area and on social media. So, mission accomplished. Stay safe and God bless. This is KP, signing off.